All right, let's talk about a feeling I bet you've had lately: AI fatigue. It's real. For the past 3 years, Denise Wakeman and Andy O'Brien from the AI Success Club have been living in the generative AI trenches, experimenting every single day. And they've uncovered some game-changing lessons about how to use these incredible tools without losing the one thing that truly matters: our human connection. So let's dive into what they've learned. You know that email you got this morning? The one that was grammatically perfect, totally polished, but it felt like nobody was home. It just felt empty. That's the lifeless inbox, and it's the #1 sign of AI content that, trust me, your audience is spotting from a mile away. And that feeling right there is really at the heart of this whole thing. The initial magic of AI-generated content, well, the novelty has definitely worn off. Your audience has now developed this kind of sixth sense for that generic, robotic tone, and they're starting to just tune it out. I mean, think back to the beginning. The speed was intoxicating, right? We could create content faster than we ever thought possible. But now, that very same speed has floated everything with generic fluff, leading to this massive, widespread AI fatigue. What started as our biggest asset has quickly become a liability. So here's the bottom line. Just relying on speed isn't just a bad strategy. It can actually hurt your brand. Speed is cheap now. It's a commodity. But a genuine human connection in this new world, that's the real high-yield asset. That's the gold. So what's the first big lesson from the trenches? It's this: emotion is what sells. Pumping out 1,000 words in 30 seconds is completely and utterly useless if those words don't make the reader feel something. Being clear is fine, but it's raw human emotion that actually makes people click, buy, and connect. To tackle this, the AI Success Club came up with a really simple but powerful framework they call Describe Their Day. And what's so smart about this is that you do it before you even open up your AI tool. It forces you to start with empathy, to connect with how your audience is actually feeling, which completely humanizes the entire process from the get-go. And here's how it works. Instead of a boring generic prompt like write a blog post about email marketing, you start by describing your audience's real frustration. You could write about that sinking feeling of opening another robotic email. You then feed that emotional context to the AI, and suddenly the draft you get back has a real pulse. It feels alive. This brings us to a huge misconception about AI. We all think it saves time, but let's be honest. If the output sounds like a robot, you end up spending hours rewriting it anyway, right? So the problem was never really about speed. It's about voice. Getting the AI to sound like you is the real time suck. So their solution to this is absolutely brilliant. They call them voice anchors. Think of these as the unique fingerprints of your personality, the specific words you use, your go-to phrases that you can actually teach an AI to use. This way, the technology starts to reflect your brand, not the other way around. And it's such a simple exercise. First, just pick 3 words that really define your tone. Maybe you're direct, witty, and empathetic. Then, grab a couple of phrases you find yourself saying all the time, like, let's fix that. When you tell the AI to prioritize these anchors, you start getting content back that actually finally sounds like you. Okay, lesson 3 is a little surprising. While it seems like everyone is chasing the latest AI plugin or hack, the strategies that are working best are actually old-school marketing psychology. And the reason is simple. The technology is always changing, but human nature, that doesn't. We're talking about the principles from legends like David Ogilvy and William Bernbach, who always focused on human desire, not just product features. It also pulls from fields like neurolinguistic programming, which is all about the deep connection between our language and our behavior. The big takeaway is that AI is most powerful when it's used to apply these timeless, human-focused techniques. A fantastic example of this is a classic technique called emotional contrast. It's a persuasion method that works by highlighting that jarring gap between where your audience is right now, their struggles, and where they desperately want to be. And it's a technique that AI can supercharge with incredible precision. Just look at this example here. You start with the pain point, your copy sounds polished but robotic. Then you paint this vivid picture of the dream outcome. Imagine a tool that speaks in your voice. That contrast creates this powerful emotional pull, making your solution feel not just like a nice-to-have, but an absolute necessity. All right, let's zoom out a bit for these final lessons. With a new AI expert popping up every 5 minutes, what's the real flex? What's the actual competitive advantage? Well, it's not about finding some secret prompt. It's about longevity. Look at this number, 151. That's how many consecutive weeks the AI Success Club has been doing daily AI experiments. We're talking 3 years. In the AI world, that is an eternity. And that depth of experience gives you a perspective that sees way, way beyond the short-term hype. And that kind of long-term experience leads to a really crucial mindset shift. You realize that real expertise isn't about memorizing prompts. It's about developing the strategic thinking to know why you're using a tool in the first place. It's the difference between being a button pusher and being a true strategist. And this slide just nails that final lesson perfectly. The old way was to see AI as a replacement, like a vending machine for blog posts. The new way is to see it as a multiplier. It's a strategic teammate that elevates your thinking and your ability to execute. So, as we wrap this all up, it really brings us to one last critical question. In a world where AI can copy strategies, formats, and data in a heartbeat, what's the one thing your competitors can never, ever replicate? The answer is so simple, but it's everything. It's your unique voice, your specific worldview, your humanity. In this crowded, noisy market, that is the only true scarcity left. And it's your ultimate uncopyable advantage. So let's end with this thought, because it's the most important takeaway of all. The goal isn't to be the person who uses AI the most. The goal is to use AI to become a more authentic, more resonant, and more unmistakably human version of yourself. Thanks so much for tuning in.